Hello, this is Nikita from Plumsail team, and today I'll show you how to save controls like data table from your public web form to a SharePoint list if you have integration configured. We'll be using save to property, which is available in our controls, for example in the InSketch, which allows you to capture signatures or drawings, and you can save it to a SharePoint column, and we also have it available for the for data table, for the ink sketch. We also have it in the lookup control, which allows you to connect to any site that you have within your SharePoint tenant and get information from there. And it's also available for the Likert Scale control, so you have option to save all the controls to SharePoint. So how can you do it? Well, first of all, let's create a list to which we'll connect. So I'm going to call this list incident reports, and I'm just going to create the required columns inside of SharePoint. So we need single line text for the lookup control, and all the other controls require multiple lines of text. So I'm going to call it inspection signature for the ink sketch control, and I'm also going to create another column called inspection items for the data table. I'm also going to create a new column for safety rating for the Likert scale. So that's all we need inside SharePoint. Now, once created, we can copy the site, and we need to connect our public web form to the SharePoint site. So we go to connection, we copy the site URL, we click connect, grant all the permissions, and select the list that we want to connect to. So content type is item, click connect, and you can see that SharePoint fields are available here based on our columns. So let us customize this incident report form. Well, I'll start with adding a heading just to make it presentable. I'll use the underline, and I'll add the title to the form like that. But I'm not going to add these fields. No, instead, I'm going to add the controls. I'm adding the lookup control, and I'm going to call it equipment. I'm going to use save to property, and I'm going to save it to equipment type. I'm also going to add a data table, and I'm going to call it checklist items, and I'm going to save it to inspection items. So I'll just add a few columns here, which are going to be item, status, which is going to be a drop down. We can have pass and fail, and we can give different colors to these options. And I'm also going to add notes column. For consistency, I'm going to make sure that titles and column names match. Okay, and I'm going to add a Likert scale. It's going to be saved safety rating. I'm going to call it safety. And here I'm going to just change the categories to match our report. It's going to be equipment condition. It's also going to be safety features, and it's also going to be maintenance quality. So I'm gonna leave the selection as is, but I'm also going to add a signature to the ink sketch. I'm going to save it to inspection signature. Let's make it a bit bigger, and we can save it. Okay. Now let's just give our form a name, and we can open it from a link or in a preview mode, and all the fields are available here and all the controls you can see. Let's just fill it out. I'm going to select one of the options, and I'm just going to fill data with something presentable. All right, let's add a signature to our form. I'm using a mouse, but if you have some sort of tablet, that's even better. Let's click submit. Okay, thanks for submitting the form. And if we go to SharePoint, we'll see the data has been updated. Let me just refresh the list. Now you can see all the data is here. It has customizers applied, so the data doesn't look like that if you don't have SharePoint Forms, right? So you need to have SharePoint Forms installed for customizers to apply. Otherwise, it will be stored as just JSON or Data64 for the signature. Let me just show you. That's how the data is stored. So without SharePoint Forms, it's not going to look like that. And if we have SharePoint Forms, we can also customize them to look exactly like our public web forms, or maybe a bit different, but we can connect to the same fields. So we have similar controls. And if we refresh the list, open the new form, you can see that we can edit it here. And that's the power of our public web forms with SharePoint integration and SharePoint Forms. So if you like what you see, go and check out our public web forms and the free trial for our SharePoint Forms, and let us know if you have any questions. We are here to help.